Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our preview of the 2014 FCS National Championship game between the North Dakota State Bison and the Towson Tigers. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Bison. But first, let's start off with some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For North Dakota State, you cannot fall asleep back there in the secondary versus a team like Towson that really runs the heck out of the football. It's easy to do. You find your cornerbacks and your safeties getting lax back there in coverage, and that's when they hit the big play deep down the field. So you cannot fall asleep back there in the secondary if you want to have success. And on offense, you have to out-possession the Tigers. You have to maximize your own offensive possessions because, again, this may be a game about possessions. You may not see the ball a lot versus a team that can chew up the TOP. So when you do have the football, you have to come away with points. And on defense, the run fits have to be perfect all game long. If you're out of position or you don't get better run fits in a running game versus Towson, Terrence West and company will gas you for big plays on the ground. And for Towson in this ball game, they have to play a clean game throughout the course of this matchup. No penalties, no turnovers. Play a clean game, and you can come away the 2014 national champions. And 4 quarters equal $1, which means points add up. Don't worry about trying to match points with North Dakota State. Play your game, score points when you can, but you have to come away with points every drive if you want to be successful. And you want to make the Bison earn it. No special teams blunders, no cheap plays given up deep down the field in the passing game. Don't get out of position in the running game versus Brock Jensen. Make them earn every point they get in this ball game, and you can have some success. The X factor for the Bison in this ball game will be that linebacking core. They're going to have to stop the run very early and often in this ball game. Maybe 40 to 45 carries you're going to see from that Towson backfield. Those linebackers, again, have to take better run fits. They have to be able to make plays at or behind the line of scrimmage in order for this defense to be effective as a whole. And for Towson, the X factor will be quarterback Peter Athens, who's going to be back in the lineup this week versus North Dakota State. And if he can get into a groove early throwing the football and just back up that defense just a little bit, this Towson offense will be very tough to defend. Not only can they run the football, but they do have explosive playmakers on the flanks. So it's important for Athens to get into that groove early for this offense in this championship game. Now here are some 2014 draft prospects you want to keep an eye on in this ball game. For North Dakota State, Marcus Williams, one of the best cornerback prospects in the country, regardless of division, 5'11", 195. And along that offensive line, you have Big Billy Turner at 6'6", 315. A lot of pro scouts are salivating at what he has to bring to the table for the next level. Quarterback Brock Jensen is a guy I've been very impressed with over the course of his career, 6'3", 220, blazing speed. So keep an eye on his athleticism moving forward as more people become familiar with his skill set. And Ryan Smith, a guy I think has a lot of potential north of the border in the CFL at 5'7", 175, reminds me a lot of Weston Dressler. And for Towson, all eyes will be on talented tailback Terrence West, 5'11", 220 pounds, if he decides to declare or if he comes back for his senior season. Either way, he's going to be a terrific back, whether it's at Towson or in the National Football League. You look at the defensive line, Arnold Palmer, 6'1", 325, quick off the snap, does a great job in getting interior penetration. Defensive end Ryan Delaire is a junior prospect, 6'4", 250, brings a lot of speed and athleticism coming off the edge. And also keep an eye on safety Thomas Bradley, another junior with great ball hawking skills at 6'2", 200 pounds. In the 1986 FCS championship game, Georgia Southern, led by legendary head coach Eric Russell, faced Arkansas State, and quarterback Tracy Ham, who some consider the best option quarterback in history, led the offensive explosion as the Eagles put up 48 points en route to a 48-21 victory, earning them their second consecutive national championship. In the 1990 Division II National Championship game, the Bison took on Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and this one wasn't even close. Led by running back Tony Satter's 65-yard touchdown run, North Dakota State blew out IUP 51-11. The Towson Tigers made their first playoff appearance in school history in 1976, and they were 8-2 on the season. They played in the Division III title game versus St. John's that year, led by legendary head coach John Gallardi, and after being down 28-0, the Towson Tigers came roaring back to tie the game at 28-all, but wasn't able to pull off the victory, losing 31-28 on a last-second field goal. Ron Earhart is definitely a campus legend for North Dakota State. He coached the Bison from 1966 to 1973, in which he compiled a 67-7-1 record, and also coached the Bison to 2 national championships. Before he became an outstanding punter at the National Football League level, Sean Landeta was an outstanding punter and place kicker for Towson from 1979 to 1982, in which he led the nation in punting in 1980 and was a first-team consensus All-American in 82. I like North Dakota State in this ball game, and the reason why they're able to win football games is because they're able to dominate in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Now, Towson provides a very tough matchup. Where I think they have the advantage is in the secondary. I think they do a great job of matching up versus its passing game, this newfound passing game of the Towson Tigers. They've been very impressive over the course of the postseason. So I think the Bison will come away the 2014 FCS champions, winning their 3rd consecutive championship in a row.